Hi, it's Candy, and on this channel we always talk about planning and planning pretty, on purpose, and powerful. And today we're going to talk about on purpose and powerful because we're going to talk about how to curate. How to curate your purchasing whenever you're buying things for your planner, or maybe even whenever you are buying a planner. I know whenever I started in the planning world and started in the pretty planning especially, and then I was looking at that time for stickers and how to get started and washi, and I mean everything for my first planner. I shopped a long time for my first planner, and then it was getting the washi, and then it was the stickers and the clips and all of those things. I made some really big mistakes. So, and even now, as I'm moving forward and I want to play with more planners and I want to do more ideas and I have more things that I want to do, I knew it. The doorbell was going to ring as soon as I sat down to do this. But as we move forward and into the new year, and I've got plans in my head that I want to put on paper and do a lot of different things, I want to do it more carefully and more on purpose. So I want to curate. I don't just want to buy. I don't just want to purchase. I just don't want to do it haphazardly. I want to curate. And because if you are watching this, you get to hear about what I want to do. I want to curate. I want to do it carefully. I want to do it thoughtfully. I want to love what I do, and I can do things in a crazy way sometimes. So I just don't want to go out there and do it. I want to do it on purpose, and I want to do it powerful. So we're going to talk about curating. There you go. So do you curate whenever you make your purchases? And we're going to stick pretty closely with our planners, but you can do this in any other form of your life, and I'm trying to put that into place also. I think it's way too easy for us to be influenced by outside forces, let's stick again with the planners, by Instagram, by YouTubers, by people that put up the hauls, by people that do swaps and all of those things. And hey, I love to watch them as much as absolutely anybody else, and that's really where I got bogged down at first. And you know what, that was the only way I knew how to learn to do it. So it's not that that's a bad thing then, or it's a bad thing now, because I still watch all those. And out in the real world, of course, it is advertising, and it's magazines, and again, it's Instagram and watching those feeds and all that. But that's not how I want to put things together. So I'll ask again, do you curate whenever you make your purchases? Do you know what you want to do? Do you have a plan together, or do you just go out there and do it? Now, we're not here to place blame at all. Really, what I want to do is probably start a thought process as much as anything, so you can learn to be comfortable and on purpose whenever you put your plans together, or maybe even so you'll start making a plan if you don't. And again, I'm just sharing what I want to put in place for me. So, not about your purchasing habits, it's about me and what I do and how, and I just want to share that with you, so maybe it'll be helpful. I don't know. I want to avoid what I did before, and I want to put in place good things again. So, how do you shop for your planner, for your traveler's notebook, for whatever? Are you on purpose about it? Do you feel comfortable enough in who you are and in your own style and in your own sense of how you want to do things, that you move forward, you've got your plan all together, and you're not influenced always by other things? Do you feel comfortable enough in what you want to do that you're just totally okay with that? We kind of have a little saying on this channel, be who you be. Do what you do. Have your own style. If you don't have it yet, start to develop it, because that's a great thing to have, to know who you are and how you like things. Now, that does not mean you can't like a whole lot of things, because I like a whole lot of other styles and I can appreciate them and I can think they're incredible. It still doesn't have to be who I am. That's not how I do things in my work. I love lots of different things, but that's not who I am, and that's not the kind of things you'll see from me. And that's just, I can't do all the different styles, so I have particular ones that I like, and they're ones that you'll probably always see from me. So then when I move forward and put my plan in place and make my purchases and start shopping for myself, that will be a trail I go down, if you will. That will be the kind of things I look for. This will be the color combinations and the style that I look for. Okay, so do you know how you want to shop for your planner? When do you shop? You know what? That will be another huge influence on probably how things go for you. Do you shop after you've sat down and looked at Instagram for an hour? That's not that's not a good time for me, because I take notes from Instagram, and you know, if I watch Instagram for an hour and a half, not a good time for me to shop right after that. Do you shop after you've watched YouTube hauls and see everything everybody else has? Now that can be a really good time to start to do some looking, and if you don't feel like you have a style yet, start to develop your style, because that definitely will lead you to some different shops, to some different places to go and look and to start. If you don't have a starting point yet, that will be a place where you can make a starting plan. I would say be very careful about if you're heavily influenced. Watch that carefully. When do you shop? You know, I hear a lot of people say they're going to do a no-buy month, like it's going to be no-buy January, or it was no-buy December, or whatever. I can't do that. I can say I'm going to do it, but I don't do it. When do you buy? You know, just think about that. When do you buy? Where do you buy? Do you buy in the stores? Do you have a favorite store that you buy in? Do you only buy when things are on sale? Now, I can do that. I very, very, very seldom buy anything that is not on sale. So think about it. When do you buy? How do you buy? Where do you buy? When do you buy? Do you have favorite companies that you like? Do you have favorite stores that you like? Do you have favorite brands that you like? Do you have that focused in so much that one brand is your favorite and it really is kind of your style? And you can save yourself a lot of time also if you do pretty much have favorite brands. It's kind of like when you start out, you are so new that you don't know hardly anything about anything, so you have to start exploring, and then you really open up and find out all of these different things, and you kind of have to because you are exploring. But then as you become very, very familiar with things, then you start narrowing it down again, because you found out your style and you found out kind of who does what you like, and then you have been able to narrow that down again so that you find the places, the companies, the brands that do more of what you like, and you can focus that down again. So that's how I found that it was with me. So do you shop on Etsy a lot? Would you rather shop in the larger stores? Would you rather shop on Etsy with the smaller companies that are more hands-on and can refine things towards your taste particularly? So, you know, consider all of those things. Curate what you purchase. I think that is so important. And I would say, you know, don't get caught up in purchasing after you've watched a lot of what somebody else is doing. I would say be very careful about that. I do purchase when I immediately fall in love with something. That doesn't happen often, but if it does, I will immediately get something that then. But I won't purchase immediately if I need to think about it. That's kind of a sign. If I'm okay to walk away from it, then I don't need to purchase it immediately. If I can go home and think about it, then most of the time I don't feel like I need it. If I can walk away from it and be okay with it, then most of the time I don't need it. If I won't be sorry if it sells out, then most of the time I don't need it. If I want it right then, I'm going to grab it. Even if I don't have a specific idea for it right then. For instance, this is just a little gold traveler's notebook, a little sparkly gold. It reverses to a plain gold on the inside like this, so I actually can turn it around and reverse it. This is, I wrote it down. I'll put a link to where I got it. I have had this since September. I have never used it. I have never had inserts in it, and I have never shown it on air. I fell in love with it. I wanted it. I have not exactly known how I wanted to use it until now. I'll start it in 2017, and I absolutely love it, but I wanted to wait until I knew how to use it. The inserts, for the most part, I got them in late November. I got a set of 5, and I picked out the covers, all designed to go with my Gold Traveler's Notebook. So this is going to be a fun thing that I started in the new year. This is one of my Bible, where I do my scripture writing, and it's not complete. So I'm going to keep that in here, do some scripture writing in it, and then here's one of my other Traveler's Notebook that had the cover special design. I fell in love with this. I didn't know how I was going to use it, so I kind of tucked it away until I was sure. But I fell in love with it when I saw it, and I wanted to buy that. Curating what you get does not mean that you can't be spontaneous. You absolutely can be spontaneous, just like with that. Curating does not mean that you have to have a reason to buy something. Well, you know, I just told you, I don't necessarily. I think curating is more, it gives you a reason to think about all of your purchases. If you love it, that's good enough. That's your reason, okay? It just gives you a reason to very thoughtfully consider what you are doing, I think. So, that is really all that curating does. It gives you a reason to thoughtfully consider what you're doing and why you are doing it. We will probably, as we go along, also talk more about curating, because 2017 is going to be a year for me to tighten up what I do and how I do it. I've gone through the, starting out knowing absolutely nothing about brands, about companies, about styles, about that, into seeing everything that's available. Not everything, most certainly, but seeing a lot of what's available and trying out a lot of different things and realizing you can't do everything. What is it? A jack of all trades and a master of none. I've definitely figured out you can't do all of that, and that it's okay for me to do what I do. That's who I want to be. It's okay for everybody to not, you don't have to put a picture up on Instagram and have 100 people like it. I want be who you be. That is what my purpose is, and I want to tighten that up, and I want to just be so true to that, and I want to celebrate being what I'm supposed to be and doing what I want, what I'm supposed to do, and whatever my purpose is, that's what I want to celebrate in 2017. So we'll probably talk a lot more about curating as we talk a lot more about all of us finding and being okay with who we are supposed to be, and don't dare to compare, and some of those things that you've heard a lot about, but how important it is to just be okay and to just make good decisions for you, and why a good decision is a good decision. And we don't have to run around with the crowd all the time. We can watch the crowd if we want to, but we don't have to go with them all the time. So, and that doesn't mean, I mean, I love watching YouTube, and I love getting on Instagram and all of that, but it's okay to love what somebody else does and appreciate them for that, and still be okay with what you do and how you do things. So here's how I wanted to kind of end this, is I want to love what I have. Okay, now I want to make sure I say this right, okay? I want to love what I have and what I get more, and have less. Does that make sense? I want to love what I have more, and then anything that I curate and decide to get, I want to love this more, and I want to think I need to get less. So that's an importance of curating also. I hope that makes sense to you. So, with that being said, we'll close the same way we always close. Thumbs up are always important when I watch videos. I so try to do that, and I still miss it sometimes. So, thumbs up is important. Subscribe is important. If you think these videos help you at all, you can feel free to just send a friend over to watch it too. That helps also. And please know that I value your time, and I appreciate you so much watching. You are very, very special, and we'll see you soon, okay? Thanks.